Hey y'all. Happy Friday. Let me know you're here. Say hi in the chat. Y'all, today's video is going to be short. And I'm sorry for that, but I tweaked my back yesterday, and you won't believe how. It really is stupid. Hey Melinda, happy Friday. I actually was getting a frying pan out of my cabinet, and poof, my back's gone. So I won't be here long because I will be going back to my recliner with ice and all that jazz. But I had to show you guys this project. We've talked about it, and if y'all saw the shorts, you know that I messed it up because the project is doing this cube. Remember these cubes when I got them in? And I said I wanted to build a scene, and I showed you all the little animals and things that I had gotten. Well, I figured for the first one, let's try something really simple. I decided I would use one of my pyramids that I made, and we'll put that down in there. And then we'll make like an ice glacier or a snowy bank or field for it to be sitting on or coming up out of the water, however you want to say that. So you remember I poured the first layer. If you saw the short, I poured the first layer and I had set a timer. Okay. I had set a timer for 2 hours and I wanted to come put my pyramid down into my resin so it would stick and, I wouldn't have to worry about it falling over or any of that, putting it in when you pour it. Well, when I came back at the 2 hour mark, this was already cured and I couldn't push it down in there. So I was like, great. So I poured another layer this morning and I waited an hour this time. I was really paranoid. So I waited the hour and I came back and I put my pyramid in and it was really floppy. I could have gone an hour and a half, but I didn't want to chance it. So I put it in. Hey, Linda. I put it in and I leveled it off to keep it upright because it wanted to flip over a little bit. So I put my um, crystal mold on top of it to keep it level. And it cured just fine. So that worked out. So now we have the second layer. It's still not completely cured, it's soft, but it's enough that I can show you guys because I couldn't put the pyramid in at the first layer, it didn't get as far down into the cube as I wanted. So I want some of the sparkly green to be visible above the water line. And as you can see, we are short. So I've got to pour another clear layer before I add my snowy, and I'm going to use this shimmer white. And I'm going to put it in with some white paste. And that's going to be our snow that's on the bottom, like a snow shelf. What am I trying to call it? Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Anyway, so I've got to pour another clear layer before I can do this white layer, which my plan was to do the white layer with you guys today. But because I really do want to get that aqua above the water line, because I think it's going to look really beautiful that way. And you can see the white in there from that pyramid. Looks like little glaciers, right? So I have to do another clear layer on this before I can do the white layer I had expected to do with you guys, which maybe was an omen on my part that I would be down with my back today. Anyway, so we're going to set this to the side, and I want you to see. You can see a line there, and I know there's going to be a line there, but for purposes of teaching you guys, I really don't care if there's a line there. It's fine. So I'm going to set that to the side. And I started thinking about, you know what? It would be really cool because I do have all these other different shaped cubes. So you could put like a little penguin or something in here, or just have ice blocks, color them blue, like a transparent blue or something, and have ice blocks on your shelf. So those would be really cute. So then I got to thinking, you know, a lot of people reach out to me about these flowers. The suspended flower, I know a few of you have asked me about it too. The suspended flower, and they're like have such a hard time tying it to a stick or hot gluing it or tying it around to suspend it so it doesn't go all the way down to the bottom of the mold. Hey, buddy. I know we had technical difficulties last week, but we got that fixed and we're back. And I told them, if you're just getting here, bud, we're doing this cube, and I put a pyramid down in there, but it's the pyramid that I made, like the little white glaciers and stuff inside it. But because when I poured the first layer, I didn't get the pyramid in time, it was already cured. 2 hours is too long. So if you're going to do a project like this, set an alarm for an hour and a half and come back and test your resin to make sure that you can insert your piece in there without any issue. Okay? Because I couldn't insert it in the first layer, so I poured another layer this morning and I made sure that I got my pyramid in, but it didn't sink as far as I really wanted it to because I want this blue, beautiful sparkle to be seen on top of the ice and snow layer that I want to add. That will be my last layer. So I've got to pour another clear layer, so I can't do the white with you guys like I had planned. So that's where we are with that. I'll do a short video and make sure that you guys get it. Be watching the shorts because I'll post the finished product in there and make sure if you're in the Facebook group and all that, I'll make sure you see it and get the link and all that. So, like I was talking about, the floating flower. So I decided, you know what? I'm going to test this out. I took one of the smaller cubes, and I think this is the either 1.5, probably 2-inch cube. And I just took a little flour, right? So I poured it in there. You can see it's not all the way to the bottom. So my thinking is I will fill this up and have this cube. So when I want to make a floating flower in this, I can just insert the cube and I don't have to worry about bubbles in my flowers or any of that. It's already in the cube. So I'm just putting the cube in and it's going to look like a floating flower because the clear around the flower is going to mix with the resin and you're not going to see the cube. You'll just see the floating flower. So this is a neat little trick to use if you're worried about getting bubbles in your flowers or not having it set the right height that you want. Make it ahead of time. And you can actually make up a bunch of these ahead of time and just have them, last minute project. Maybe you're making a coaster and you want to set a cube with a floating flower on your ring tray. Or maybe you want to add it to top of a coaster so it will look like that. So that's an idea to try. But I thought that was kind of cool. Have y'all done the floating flowers? And look, before I forget, I'm doing this right now. Whew. All right. I'm giving out 5, y'all. There we go. Who do we have? Ooh, good ones. Do you think, Melinda, that that would be a better way? Does that make you feel more comfortable putting in a little cube like this before trying to put it in a bigger mold? And it doesn't even have to be the cube because I know they make the round ones too. You can put your flower in the round one and it can float. And then you can put it in the bigger round one. I think that's a great cheat or trick or tip. Yeah, I think it's less threatening that way. That's the way I see it. And plus, if you mess it up, guess what? It's only just a little amount of resin that you used. And as compared to, 18, 20 ounces for a bigger round mold or a skull. This will be great to fit into a skull too. And you could add some lights around in here. All kind of stuff you could do with it. Anyway, y'all, I wished that I could stay longer. My back is really, really, really jacked up though. So I can't stay sitting up long. I need to get back on ice. But you guys, are you excited to see the results of this one? I have other stuff like polar bears and little igloos and things like that, or sea creatures. Another thing I wanted to try was like palm trees. And where is my. Ah, here it is. Remember, I made this sand, like little island? This will be another fun one. You can make these on just a coaster mold. If you have extra sand from a beach scene or something like that, don't throw it out. Just put it on a coaster like this or anything silicone and just let it set up. And then you'll have a little piece to use in a different project down the road. So I want to use something like this in a cube design with some palm trees, some seashells, some turtles, dolphins, things like that. It would make a really cute, like a little floating island. So there's a lot of different things we can do with this. And I really want to step up the difficulty of doing it in a future project. But I thought this is super easy. I usually pour these little pyramids, and I have another one too. That's like really cloudy. That would be cool to go in a different one. But I usually pour these with my leftover resin. So I have a lot of these little pyramids, and I'm like, what can I do with it? So this was like, oh, this is a great idea. It's easy. This is already made. All I have to do is put it down in here and then pour my top coat, which will be the base that this is sitting on. And you can even take some cotton balls and make clouds. There's all kind of fun stuff. And I'll show you, we'll get into that and we'll do a more difficult one. Maybe next week we'll do it. And I know not to wait 2 hours. 2 hours is too long. So we'll set our alarm for like an hour 15, hour 30. That's probably the sweet spot, at least for the size. And I'm almost sure this is a 3-inch cube. So there you go, guys. Anyway, sorry I can't stay longer, but this gives you guys great ideas. I'm excited to finish this. I'm doing it in 2 pours, or you can do 1 deep pour, but then you're looking 1 to 2 days for it to cure, maybe 3, depending on your resin. So I just decided I'd do 2. So I have another layer to go in this, and maybe we'll do this in a skull next week, or maybe I'll set it on a ring tray or something. No, this is not fast cure. It was regular less resin, 1v1. So I was like shocked. I was really shocked. Now I did pour it. This is about, I would say this is about the limit because there are limits as to how much you can pour with a 1v1 resin. Even deep pour resins have limits as to what you can pour. So, or this probably was close to the limit, which means you can, if you pour close to the limit, you run the risk of a flash cure. Y'all know that. We've talked about that a lot. Um, so make sure you know your limit as far as how thick you can pour. Usually it's 1 to 1.5 inch, and that's it. Or you run the risk of it flash curing, and you really don't want that because it's going to lock micro bubbles and all that in your resin. We don't want those. No bubbles allowed. I did run this through the bubble machine from Let's Resin 2. Oh no, that's not fun. I hope it wasn't a lot of resin that flash cured on you. That's a lot of money. Well, I hope you could save it or fix it. When y'all run into that flash cure situation, if you fill your mold and it's starting to get warm, you can take some frozen peas, whatever, put some ice in a Ziploc bag and set it around your mold, and it will help keep it cool, hopefully, fingers crossed, and save it from a flash cure. I had that happen on another piece. I was able to save it because I put that around the outside and kept it from heating too quickly or flash curing even more. So that's another pro tip for you. If you feel like your container's getting super hot, your resin's getting really hot, grab some frozen stuff out of your freezer or put some ice in a Ziploc bag and put it around your mold, and you might be able to save it and not lose all that resin. So there's a tip for you for next time. Hopefully you can save it. But y'all, I'm, speaking of ice, about to go back to my recliner, take some medicine, and chill out. So y'all are warned, beware lifting frying pans. It can throw your back out. You learned that from me here. But y'all, that's all we have for this one. Sorry it's so short. We'll do a longer one next week, and we'll either deal with a flower somehow, or we'll do a more intricate cube design. That'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited to dive into that. But until next time, y'all, make sure on your way out you do all the YouTube things. Give us a thumbs up. It helps other people find our videos and learn tips that they may have been looking for. Anyway, guys, thanks for all the well wishes. Appreciate it. I will see you in the next one. Until then, ta-ta for now.